Hey there guys, and welcome back to Factorio 0.17 Vanilla Start to Finish. I'm Xterminator, and we are ready to do some military science. So, I hooked up all the way back from the oil outpost. I also put some turrets here, and of course forgot to put my radar down. Brilliant. Okay, so I've added a few more miners here as well for this coal, because we're going to need some extra coal to make grenades, because grenades are needed in military science. So first things first, though, is I want to run this steel line over here somewhere. And I think this area is going to be best right here. Let's clear these rocks. I don't actually think I'm going to be bringing it down in quite this spot, but the rock's going to be in the way anyway at some point. Again, because remember this steel setup is going to be much longer than these because the steel takes a very long time to smelt. So instead of moving this line a ton of times, I'm just going to preemptively like stretch it out to here, assuming that this line is going to stretch all the way out there, as I completely screw this up. And there were some questions about how I have this whole bar here to begin with, and I think it works the same way as the research queue, where it like gets unlocked the first time you beat a game. And I had in this instance of Factorio, like I have multiple installs. In this install, I had done a world where I used commands to unlock all research and stuff to do my overview video. So I think that's how I got this, because like once you beat the game and stuff once, it unlocks the research queue, and then I think it also unlocks this. And I did do a short little tutorial showing you how to get the research queue, even if you haven't done that. But I don't think there's a way for this, unless it's like included in that option, which it may be. Okay, so we're going to run steel here. Now, in terms of military science itself, again, we're going to go off of base rate. So if we look at the craft time here, it's 10 seconds. So your initial thought may be, okay, well, we need 10 assemblers, right? Going with the way we've done previous packs. However, this is important that we look at the output amount, because from military onwards, the output changes from 1 to it now being 2. You can see 2 military science packs. And then this is also 2. And then the production pack and the whatever the other one's called, they used to be like advanced science or something. They actually output 3 apiece, which is pretty awesome. So this is the utility, sorry. So this recipe actually outputs 3, as well as the production. So what we need to do is basically just cut this in half. So we really only need 5 assemblers, because they take 10 seconds, but it's outputting 2 per craft. So we really only need 5. So it's going to be about the same as this red science. Now I know I'm only using level 1s. I do have level 2s. I'd like to upgrade all of these at once. Which is why I'm not building this in level 2s, because I'm not quite ready for that yet. Not quite ready to upgrade all these at once, I mean. It's blue. We don't want that yet. So here we go. I'm leaving some space. Leaving space is always smart, and you're about to see I'm going to regret not leaving space in my smelters, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so these things require 3 ingredients, which means we're actually going to need 2 input belts, right? You can only fit 2 ingredients per belt. What we're going to do is we're going to put the wall on its own belt. Now, in this particular case, what I'm about to say isn't really relevant, but it's a good habit to get into. Whichever material has the highest cost, or the highest amount needed, I guess. Like in this case, walls, it needs 2 walls, whereas it only needs 1 grenade and 1 piercing round. Whichever one needs the highest amount of things is the one that you should put on its own belt. Right, because it needs more. So what we're going to do, this is actually going to be the output line, because our lab's over here. So we're going to have our input lines over here on this side. And I am trying to line these up. Now, there's quite a few things we actually need to build first. You know, this takes piercing rounds and grenades. So let's work on those first. And walls are super simple. Walls I'm actually just going to do right here, because it's a 1 ingredient thing. They're very simple. Bricks. I'm gonna have to run bricks down here, but that's okay. So I'll get some inserters being made here too. Okay, so this guy is gonna do probably like what one of these does. This actually takes 5 brick for each wall, so we may need double fast inserters. 1 may be sufficient though. And we'll just use a fast inserter here. Actually, wrong side. Okay, so let's get this on belt. Now I could do both sides of the belt. Like I said, in this particular case, it doesn't really matter, because it's only 2 walls, which isn't that many, but just a good habit to get into. So then this guy here, keep hitting like the wrong keys. This guy here is going to be the grenades and piercing ammo. So, excuse me, I'm kind of stuffed up today. My allergies are cold. Better not be a cold. I was just sick. Okay, so let's do grenades right here. Oh my goodness. So one thing about this ghost placer that I don't like is if you do it and you don't have the material, like the thing you're trying to place, like for example, I take a level 2, if I were to make a level 2 assembler, it would still place a ghost. I feel like it should, I don't know if this is possible coding wise, but I feel like it should, like if I'm still holding it and I'm crafting level 2 and I make it, that it should then just automatically turn this into the actual physical level 2 assembler instead of still doing a ghost, because then I have to like do it twice. Anyway, so gonna output, we just need coal and iron. Super simple. 2 belts running down, kind of like we have right here. Boom, boom. And then the piercing ammunition is gonna be a little bit trickier in terms of how we're actually going to be merging this, although I already have a bit of a plan. We're going to do something a little tricky here. I'm going to do side loading again. Remember, this inserter is going to output on this far side, so we're going to side load on this close side. And this is going to be this. Now, I haven't ratioed this out. I suppose we should look at that. Military science is not something I'm going to want like a ton of, so I'm not as worried about the ratios, but again, it's still good practice. So basically every 10 seconds, we're going to want 1 piercing round, 1 grenade, and 2 walls, times 5. So every 10 seconds, we're going to want 5, 5, and 10. Okay, well, these things take 3 seconds, which means that in 10 seconds, you can actually only make 3, because that would be 9 seconds, which means that this is actually not quite fast enough. And then grenades are 8 seconds, which means this is nowhere near fast enough because you can only make a 1. The walls are more than quick enough. So, with that in mind, we're going to redo this a little bit. This is going to be pretty expensive. So, I mean, we would actually need like 5 grenade machines, which is a little bit absurd. Is this really how I want to do this? Not really. I don't really want to take up that much horizontal space. We're going to rebuild this a little bit. I could just do a line here, but personally, I don't like inserting things like directly across from where the thing that needs it actually grabs it, because that can get a little wonky in my opinion. So, what I'm going to do... I also don't want to run extra belt either. But, okay. Not quite what I was hoping, but I'm gonna do it this way anyway. Okay, so we need 5 of these. Get rid of this silly tree. So what's gonna happen here is I'm going to be silly and do this. Now, in reality, it probably doesn't matter if I were to scoot these over one and just insert directly onto the belt where it grabs it. But this is just me being finicky. So what's going to happen is it's going to insert on this far side, it's going to curve around, which is actually then going to become the far side here, I guess, again, and do that. So then, same principle would apply. We just need to side load here for the piercing ammunition. This, though, does need to still have ingredients. So what's going to actually happen here is we're going to do this. Underground belts are super nice. This is not... something you should know about me, guys, is I don't strive for, like, absolutely perfect, amazing looking builds. There are other people who do in like really good jobs making their builds super nice, like Solace Gaming, I believe. Approver is another name she goes by. She has super popular videos of her base tours. Her bases are absolutely beautiful. That's not me. I try to make things look at least decently nice, symmetrical, but like there's gonna be underground and stuff running all over the place. I think it adds character. So it's gonna be our iron and coal. So now we need, of course, the piercing ammunition. We actually need 2 of these if we really want to stick with these ratios. And of course, this doesn't line up. Why would it? Okay. This is actually going to be a bit tricky because we actually need kind of a 2-step process here. Because this thing takes copper and steel, but then it needs the regular firearm magazine as well, which is simple, but we kind of need to do like a bit of a different insertion style here, a different build style. So I may actually end up merging this differently. Let's just clear that for now. So if we did something like this. Oh my goodness, see, this is what I mean. The ghosts. Alright, so this thing is going to make this, as is this one. And then this guy's going to be piercing, and so is this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some direct insertion here, like this. Actually, now the ratios here, this can actually support multiple of these. Because, again, this takes 3 seconds, only requires 1. And this takes 1 second, so in 3 seconds we can actually make 3, which means that one of these could support 3 of these. Which I suppose I could do. Ish. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, sometimes direct insertion is just easier, but... Okay. I have a better idea. I know this is like not super super streamlined, guys, but you guys said you wanted to see everything on camera, and like I said, I just wing stuff because that's my style of play. I like doing that. So this you get to see the real-time thought process here. So we're actually going to merge it on this side rather than doing it at the top. We're going to do it over here, and that should actually make things a lot cleaner. Okay, so about out of materials here. So this is going to be like that, and then I may end up doing a little bit of a trick here. Okay, pick all that up. Right, so we could, because this needs iron, right? But these don't. These need copper and steel. So we could do iron like here. And then do copper and steel here. The little tricky thing I was going to do is use our filter splitters again. And not put it there. Put it over here. And what we would do is we would do output priority, well, pretty much anything, I guess, this way. And we'd say the only thing allowed through here is, I mean, like nothing. So, I mean, just something that's irrelevant. And because I was going to run iron on this line, and then this would basically just stop it, so that it would not continue on to the output line here. But we can actually do just iron here, and I think it looks a bit cleaner. But that is an option for people who do want to do something like that. And then this guy, actually, well, no, we actually are going to do that because we need an output here. So this guy is going to... maybe not. Dang it. See, this is why direct insertion is easier sometimes. All right. It's going to do that. Let's make some more of these. Need a couple long-handed here. Grab the ammo. Couple guys here, like that. Tear this up because this guy only reaches to there. And here we go. All right, so iron needs to come here. This is an output belt, which means it can go only to there. This is going to be iron and coal. So let's go ahead and bring over our iron line again. It's good practice to underground the crossovers, not your main bus. Bring this guy over. Again, once we get 2 iron lines, this will work a lot better. Okay, so he's going to go... Dang it. Okay, he's going to go there. He's going to go here. Nope. Stop it. That's not what I wanted. Okay, because we need this half to be coal, right? Ish. I've scrunched this together a little too much, but Ah, take that. All right, so coal is going to be, whew, I don't know. Coal's going to have to come over somewhere over there. So this is going to be coal iron. This is just iron, so that's fine. And then we need steel and copper. So go ahead and make some more splitters, some more undergrounds, and grab more belt. So this copper is going to need to run this way. Just do that. Like that. Okay, run this on over. I could be doing research. Construction robots, definitely something we'd want to go for. Modular armor, I don't know that I need right now. Ooh, we can now get logistic robotics with red and green. They changed that, I think. Oh wait, no, they didn't. Oh, so it's two pat. You can do one or the other. I mean, you can do both. They both unlock the same chest. You actually need like logistics system, I think, to get the requester chests. Yeah, logistics system. So that's actually a much later tech, unfortunately. But the construction bots are still super helpful. Yeah, so this was what? Copper? So this is going to do the same type of deal as this did. I'm going to side load here. And that's going to be steel. Except not actually right there. Because this needs to continue on. And sometimes you do have to underground your bus, like right here. That's not the biggest deal, but just in general, you should do the crossovers. Okay, so steel, and I know steel's only on one side. My plan here is to basically just replicate this on the other side. And then, well, on the other side with another belt and have it merge and then just have a double-sided belt. Is kind of my plan here. It doesn't hurt really right now to have a single-sided belt. We're not using all that much steel. And you go like that. Okay, sweet. So basically now all we need is some stone and some coal. Stone can just go here. And where do we want to weave this stone? Part of me wants to squeeze it through here, but I think that would be a very bad idea. Yeah, because the stone's way over here. So this is the part I was talking about. Had I left room, had I spaced this out and moved and had like a belt space in between each of these smelters, I could have just run the stone straight through that area. As it is now, it's going to be not clean at all. Why do you have iron in you, sir? That is not what you're supposed to be smelting. Bring this out a bit to leave room for expansion. So what's going to happen here is basically... Wow, we are actually almost out of copper here. Let's do that. I guess we could use up some of these power poles, right? This guy's going to run all the way down. Or is it better to run all the way up? No, not really. This is going to run all the way down. And then we're going to squeeze it in. Like in the front of the output for these smelters. Okay, so he's going to run over here. His radar has to move a little bit to somewhere like here. Oh my goodness, these trees, I can't see anything, man. Of course it's right in the way again. Let's stick it over to here. And these are also in the way. There we go. Boom. Okay, they're going to run along this side, because remember, we're not expanding the smelters down this way anymore, at least not for a very long time. And I need to run over and get more belt. But this should allow us to get military set up this episode. It went pretty well, considering I came in with pretty much no plan as to how to set it up. Alright, so yeah, this guy's going to run over this way. This is all going to move. We don't need this here anymore. By the time we use rail again, we're going to have an actual mall set up, so... I do want that ammo. Okay. So my plan is to run this like through here. Which is not clean, but it works. So steel, coal. Do we want to plan for 2 belts of steel? 2 belts of steel is a ton, guys. Like, It takes so much freaking smelting to do 2 lines of steel. Holy cow. I guess I should, because if I don't, then, and I do end up using a second line for some reason, I'm gonna have to move my entire bus. So I doubt I'm gonna use a full second line, but we should plan for it just in case, you know, be smart. So one of these is gonna be stone, the other is gonna be coal, is kind of the plan here. So this is gonna run over here. Of course it does that. Why wouldn't it? Oh my gosh. All right. I'll probably clean this up later. Okay, so here's the stone. This guy, let's line this up. So he's gonna come over here, like that. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Let's make some more of these. I never have enough. See, this is why we need them all. But I want, like, I'm kind of a weird kind of lazy, where I'm too lazy to set up the mall. But at the, why is there iron in here? Silly furnace. But at the same time, it's like doesn't make sense, because if I set up a mall, I wouldn't have to be handcrafting all this. Mostly, I just want science, and that's how I play. I just want science more than I want a mall. Which I know is not really the best thing, the best way to do it, but this is, no, that's what we want, right? Yeah. I promise we will set up a mall soon. Probably before blue science, because that's going to be a very strenuous process. It's going to require a lot of materials. Okay. So there's that. And then we just need coal. So I preemptively added all those extra miners. Research is done. Let's get some concrete. Solar panels wouldn't be a bad idea either. Also, probably some modules. Or the ability to get the research for modules, at least. Okay. I suppose we could run this backwards. So our coal... Actually, this should work out pretty dang well. What I'm going to do... Now, this is a lot of extra belt, but... Remember, we're putting another half of the steel smelter above this, so I didn't want to run the belt, like, right next to it, because then we're going to have to move it later. For that steel... Oh, don't do this to me. No! Oh, okay, good. We can make a landfill. Thank goodness, I think. Oh my gosh. Stop it. Alright, there we go. The landfill's a little finicky sometimes. And then, of course, this lines up like that too, which I don't want it to. Wow. Okay, well, you're just gonna do that. Okay, so that's gonna come down. It's a very long belt, but, you know, that's what we deal with. There's no coal anywhere around here yet. And how's our radar doing? Our radar has revealed 2 large coal patches, almost 8 mil here. Almost 6 there. A decent 4.5 million iron patch, which is fantastic. Another 8.6 and a decent looking copper patch, which is awesome. There's also a copper patch right here, which is probably what we'll grab first. Okay. So, run this over here. I want to turn this on, and then in the episode, that'll be a huge accomplishment. Getting military done. Okay, so coal and iron. Okay, well, here's the iron part. Oh my gosh. Having some problems, guys. Go like that. It's over. It's going to take a little bit for this coal to actually get over here, but no biggie. Boom. Okay, now let's throw some power down. Get this guy cranking. Okay, so is there a decent way to actually power this? And by decent, I mean somewhat nice looking. Okay, these medium power poles are actually really frustrating because they like don't always line up exactly, and the wires sometimes are like not straight. I guess is the best way to put it. Okay, so yeah. Not even the medium ones work out quite how you want sometimes. And some people may wonder, why am I crafting one at a time instead of right-clicking to get 5? And the reason is because I'm very impatient, and by doing one at a time, I get one, and then I can place one, and then place another, instead of waiting 5 times the amount of time for 5 to craft. I know it's the same amount of time I'm waiting, alright? But I just want the stuff now. So let's just hook that up. Our power is still doing decent, and this thing should work, considering I've actually set things up correctly. They're just very slow, really. And this is enough. It takes a minute to kind of like gear up and get everything set. So you can see he's gonna grab it. Grenades. This is probably not enough coal. These take a lot of coal. I mean, these take 10 coal, dude. Times 5. That's 50 coal per cycle. Although it may work as long as we keep adding coal miners. So the brick or the walls here, 2 are actually not even enough. But so this is missing piercing ammo and stuff because I did not craft these long-hand inserters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that does not need to be there. I'll keep that for myself though. Right, so all these are working, which is fantastic. Like I said, it takes a while for everything to kind of get into gear here. They're just super slow, so I'm gonna make these level 2. That's something I'll do off camera because you really don't need to see me upgrading assemblers. It doesn't really provide much useful information. Now this is something I should have done, which I didn't do. Normally I remember to space out my labs, which I actually can't do here. Dang it. Stupid cliffs. Because we need a second belt in here. Pro tip, pull up your inserters before you pull up the structure they're inserting into, because then you don't get these items on the ground. And by the way, to pick up items on the ground like I was doing, you just hold F, and it'll just pick up whatever you run over. Okay, so yeah, this is going to do this. So now we're going to need some long-handed inserters, and then I'm going to end this video. I know I said that already, but I really want to turn this on, so... And of course we need some, so this can grab the red and green too. We actually line these up with each other, that'd be good. Perfect. Some power. Of course this now means that one power pole doesn't cover everything, but that's okay. And then this we can just dump in here. Oh. See, now we're getting military, sweet. Boom. And this is not working. It is working. It's just really slow, like I said. Like, super slow. Painfully slow. But we now have military science, which is fantastic. At the rate of about 1 a second, which, if this would stop moving around, it's not actually caught up yet. If you look at this live time, oh, it jumps around so much. I did see it at like 60 or something in the last minute. So there you go, guys. Military's set up. It's working. It's good. So next time we'll probably set up a mall and then work on oil and the long road to blue science with the red chips and all that. It's going to be good. It looks like I may need to actually add some more coal miners. We'll see. But that's a big accomplishment. So we now have 3 sciences done. I hope you guys enjoyed and found it helpful. If you did, feel free to leave a like. And any questions, again, leave below. Anything else, and I will check it out and respond when I can. Until next time, guys, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.